Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. So guys, this is going to be a best of one game. It is between Flow Gaming's Massan, the red Zerg player in the top right, and in the lower left we have TheoRy, the blue Protoss player. Therefore this is a ZVP, Protoss v Zerg, and the map is Cloud Kingdom. So, what can we expect? Well, I almost guarantee we will see a fast expansion out of TheoRy, a proxy, well not proxy, a pylon down here, wall off there, then a nexus. I reckon we'll probably see a forge first on this map. I think this is slightly safer, just 'cause it's not the longest rush distance. Out of Massan then, 14 or 15 pull into a quick expansion, into a super fast hatchery, because hatcheries are good like herbed up. No, about 4 to 5 minutes. That's the best time to get out that hatchery. Any later than that and you're going to get behind economically. Any earlier than that it could be a bit risky. But the one thing I would say is that, well, you really have to be careful with this third base as Zerg, because there's always the option of the Protoss player just going and attacking it, and it's difficult to hold because you've got, well, a entrance there, and then your natural base is exposed through there as well, so it can be a bit difficult to hold it. Force field's very, very potent along this area. If you imagine a hatchery in there, you can see where it can be tough to hold. But likewise, if you do hold it off, then obviously you're in a good spot as Zerg, and as long as you don't take too much damage, it should be fine. Now, looking around, we've got this probe, getting a poke and a prod. No forge down yet, which is making me think we may see a nexus down first by TheoRy, which would be quite a nice opening actually. I mean, it is slightly riskier, but I don't think that's a huge problem in itself. We do have that probe just getting already ready to delay that natural hatchery of the Zerg, which is again is a great thing to do. Massan should start thinking about taking his expansion just as the drone comes down, and I say that, God, it makes me feel clever. And of course, these players are way better than I am, so I can't say too much because they're just damn good. And I was actually really lucky of Massan. They're managing to get that hatchery down. A good little win because it hardly was delayed at all by the probe. The probe now going to go to the third base, and we'll wait and see what happens. But the nexus is down. The forge should be following up very, very shortly. There we go. The forge is there. Now, I don't know, any like super pro Protoss players, can anyone explain to me why most Protoss players seem to put the forge up there as opposed to down here? Now, it may seem stupid, but from my thinking as a Zerg player, if I put the Overlord up here, I can see if that forge is researching anything, whereas if I put it down here, the Overlord probably doesn't have enough vision range to see. I'm trying to think, would it? I don't think it would. It'd be pretty close, but oh, maybe it would still have enough range. It's something I need to experiment with, because it's a minor thing that could actually be quite a good point, because if that +1 is researching, then it does give away quite a bit. Anyway, we do have both players really in a good position at the moment. No gas will come down for either one for quite a while. We've got 2 Zerglings over. The third base rather started just after 4 minutes, so quite an early third base, which is good for Massan, means he can get out some more stuff. He saw his opponent win Nexus first, which does allow you to get that expansion earlier because the risk of cannons is significantly lower. So that is really the logic behind being able to get that so much quicker. But to be honest, all these players are doing really well at the moment. I mean, we probably won't see anything too crazy going on for a while now. In terms of openings or what can go on from here, I think TheoRy will probably go for a 2-base timing push. I mean, that would be my personal thing to do as a Protoss player on this map, because the third base for Protoss has exactly the same problems as the third base for Zerg. It's difficult to defend, so therefore you need to try and do some damage to the Zerg, preventing them from just having free reign on 3 bases. Now, I think really Sentry Immortal would be a good choice, because you can get those force fields down in this sort of area or this area and really cut the Zerg army in half. Alternatively, you could go for something that is less of an all-in, and perhaps even just a delayed 4 gate. So if you grab 3 more gateways sort of in the next minute or so, and then kind of came over just with a good bit of aggression to this third base, it would force a lot of units out of the Zerg, preventing them from just droning. Now, Massan is apparently just happy chilling on 1 queen at the moment. Oh no, 2. Where is the second queen? There we go. I was like, there must be another queen somewhere. 1 creep tumor chopped down. I'm really, I know I stress this in every Zerg game I cast, but get an extra queen just for spreading creep. It is such a useful thing to do, and until I really see everyone doing it, I'm gonna keep saying it, because I think it's just such a clever, smart move. There's no downsides really, other than it costs you 150 minerals, but it allows you to get much better vision, better unit movement, better defense. Everything is a plus. Now the Roach Warren coming down here from Massan now, somewhere. Where is that Roach Warren? Why can I not see it? There we go. I am just being blind. Anyway, so the Roach Warren suggesting we could see some Roachling aggression, which can be okay, except, to be honest, this is a really hard wall off to push through. It's really quite difficult. It's a completely flat front, so can be tough. Anyway, we've got the robotic facility coming down at the moment, so 1-gate Robo. A good opening by TheoRy there. That single Stalker is going to struggle. There's a second one there, but really that one Stalker is basically taking all of the Zerglings away from this. A pylon coming down as well. We now have obviously these 3 gateways on their way down. So I do apologize, it was actually going to be 4-gate delayed pressure with a robotic facility as the follow-up. And I think this is a good move to make. The +1 Protoss ground weapons on their way down. That second Stalker on its way up is going to try and pull these Zerglings back, but will completely reveal that the pylon is there. Gets one Stalker surrounded, that's going to die. The second Stalker could take big damage, but here comes the warp in of the Zealots. That is what means this will work. And, well, now here comes the trouble for FGMaSsan. He's got to defend this. He does have 10 Roaches on the way, but they are not being produced at the 3rd base, so quite a bit of damage could be done before that point. Now, it all depends how well this goes down. Obviously, the Roaches will completely annihilate this force, so can TheoRy do enough damage in the meantime? With the Zerglings going straight for the Stalker, that's a good move, because here come the Roaches from every which angle. Both Queens get knocked out, though. That is a very, very big win for TheoRy. It may not seem like he's done much and he's lost a lot. I mean, from the resource tab, he's lost more. But knocking out those 2 Queens essentially means that there's going to be less injects. And less injects are always bad. I mean, well, you're losing 2 injects. So, what's that? 4 lava every 40 seconds. No, 8 lava every 40 seconds. So that is pretty tough to really come back from, especially in the early game. That is a lot of stuff. That's 8 drones potentially. Well, it'll be more than that. It'll be like, I'm trying to think now, 12 lava a minute on average. Is that right? I'm trying to do maths. It's probably not the best thing to do, but obviously that is a lot of stuff. You can see TheoRy isn't significantly behind. He's only 13 workers behind at the moment, and FGMaSsan is coming for a counter push, and he does have a lot of Roaches out. He's getting a macro hatch up. I think that's a great move, because his money is going to get high. That's the other problem you get, obviously, without the injects, is your money will build up, and you don't have any way to spend it. So building that macro hatch, great move. Brilliant. Surprised he didn't build it back here, though, actually, just because this is a vulnerable position. Anyway, we do have an Immortal out of quite a few sentries, so, and a lot more gateways. That is up to now, what? That's 7 gate Robo with a lot of sentries. The 3rd base is on its way down. 2 Immortals there as well. That is going to be very nice, but a cancel goes down as soon as that was spotted. Just a handful of Roaches going across. A 4th base on the way down for FGMaSsan here, so he's potentially going to get 2 bases up right now. The War Prison there as well, though, and what was going on with that 3rd base? He cancelled it, even though he can clearly take this army. He must have been scared there was a big follow-up, but with a War Prison, the counter push could be really big by TheoRy. FGMaSsan needs to defend this well. I would, in this situation, after what I've seen with those Immortals there, I'd be trying to add in quite a few more Zerglings. But great force field! They trap an awful lot of Roaches and prevent any kind of counter fire coming down. Anytime you get units for nothing, it's always good. The War Prison being just used to get another wave of War Pins coming down. Of course, there's a lot more things there, but there just isn't the money to warp in anymore at the moment. TheoRy isn't getting his 3rd base. It was almost a fake 3rd base, just to really try and get FGMaSsan to relax a bit. Now, the Zergling numbers are building up. The Zergling is going to be really potent and getting a good angle. And of course, every time these force fields go off, it just allows these Roaches to get picked off for free. And if we look at the loss tab, it's really going out well. These force fields are good. TheoRy needs to bide his time, though. Don't try and push through chokes you've made yourself. Just wait, be patient, get good unit positions and good engagements. The difference between a good player and a great player is knowing when to pull back and be safe. The macro hatch is going to go down. A 4th base is being taken down here though for FGMaSsan, expanding away from his opponent. Great move, sensible play. FGMaSsan losing the macro hatch, but in terms of the worker count, he is still 20 workers ahead. That is a good position to be in. He just needs to defend this push, and this is a very scary push. What I like of what FGMaSsan is doing is he's trying to get this around. Some force fields go down everywhere. Some of the force fields are not ideal. But again, there's just so many sentries, you can afford to have a couple of off-the-mark force fields. But this push is just getting so potent, using the force fields to prevent the big engagements. But the Roaches are still on their way through right now. That Protoss army could do with moving back. It's getting force fields preventing the Roaches moving forward, but they are still all able to engage. This is not something that you particularly want. In terms of the loss tab, now we're seeing MaSsan really start getting behind. TheoRy looking like he's going to pull back, actually, which, I don't know, just to get reinforcements. I thought he was going to go all the way back, and I was going to say that could have been a bad move. But MaSsan still trying to split his units up. He's trying to get some at the background here. The other thing he needs to do, though, is make sure he keeps some down here so he can sandwich his opponent should he walk up the ramp. Now, obviously, this fourth base is completely unbeknown to TheoRy at the moment, and the longer this push goes on, the worse it actually gets for TheoRy, because really he's trying to do a two-base play. He's completely walled himself in with cannons here, and it is an all-in. He's completely committed to this. The third base is not going to be coming down anytime soon. Some overlords getting kicked off. That is actually a big win right there. But to be honest, MaSsan, he's starting to get a lot of units up. He has got his fourth base secured now. But here comes the push. This could be very, very potent. The force fields are coming down. And, well, there's some good force fields. They're preventing the roaches from coming in too big a numbers, halving the army completely. The important thing here is that 2 of the immortals are still up. All of those roaches getting cleaned up. How many kills do those immortals have? 17 and 16. So those immortals in such a great spot right now. The sentry numbers are getting a bit lower. The stalker numbers getting very high indeed. The +1 upgrades are down for both players. And well, the third base is now lost. TheoRy is ahead in supply, which is never a good sign. And well, we should see really a Protoss win. All of these overlords are going to get picked up so quickly. A massive spine wall has been constructed though by MaSsan, because unfortunately now supply block. That spine wall shouldn't be too hard to push through, in all honesty, because those immortals just deal so much damage to it. But there are so many spines, so many roaches and everything there, that to be honest, if I was TheoRy, I'd take my third, which is exactly what he's doing. Literally, I said that before I looked, I promised. But that's a good move right there. We've got some photon cannons coming down, some gateways, just really making sure this is quite nicely walled in. May even see another gateway chucked down here, trying to completely wall it off. I don't know if that can be done. It should be able to be done though. So roach counterattack is on its way, but everything getting picked off. We do have the Zergling run by as well now. This is going to be really annoying. That is probably going to be forced to be cancelled because the Zealots aren't able to get in, and there's just too many Zerglings. The cancel needs to go off. There we go. So at least the cancel went down. And well, looking around this map right now, we do have quite a lot happening. I mean, the units are getting back to defend all of this, and the roaches won't be able to punch through here. Another immortal being added into the mix. That takes us back up to 3. Unfortunately, this poor immortal is only a disciple compared to these master immortals. An executor immortal. There are 22 kills on an immortal. That is just how potent they are against roaches. A lot of these spine crawlers moving down to the new third base of MaSsan, because he really needs to hold that. That does make his natural base vulnerable though. He's trying to retake his normal third, which is now the 4th technically. But well, this is all looking pretty fun. Now there's still a lot of spine crawlers, but the way they're laid out means an engagement from the side. So this way across, the way TheoRy is going will allow him to engage effectively, because he only has to really take fire from 2 spine crawlers at a time, and there's just so many sentries there. MaSsan is getting quite a long way behind in terms of the supply count. Those spine crawlers are going to town on the stalkers, which are taking a lot of damage, some of them falling, but still, all of these immortals still up. 32 kills there. That is absolutely sick on that immortal. Will it ever die? It is taking quite a lot of damage, it is getting focused, but of course more units coming from behind, and there is the well played from MaSsan. He realises that losing that base would be the nail in the coffin, but likewise, great play by TheoRy. His expansion was up behind that, or was going back up again, so push and expand, staple of SC2. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, subscribe, new games up every day. Like and leave a cool comment about the cast, players, or the game. That would be sweet. Also follow me on Twitter, and of course flick over to my channel for more StarCraft. Or if you've watched it all, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.